Hello everybody and welcome. Thank you for joining me today on this beautiful sunny day here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I know you're going to have a lot of great questions during this segment because I'm introducing one of our accessories that I just love, and it's our stitch regulator. The stitch regulator works so well, but it's not compatible with every machine out there. And just understand that every machine is a little different. And without having access to every machine, it's hard to make the electronics work with them. And so we have made it compatible with the machines that are pretty much the quilting machines and some more. So with the brother machines out there that we're compatible with, some of them are, embroidery machines and a little bit more digitized, but we're compatible with them, and they're a little slower machines. So just check online, if you click on the SureStitch regulator, the compatibility chart, and we are compatible with several machines out there. So make sure, and if you have a question, you're more than welcome to call and ask. Just call our 800 number, or you can sign in on chat and chat with one of our account executives, and they'll be more than happy to help you figure out if your machine is compatible. I don't want you just to count on that, because sometimes you'll miss seeing your machine, or maybe it's not listed, but we know it's compatible. So just give us a call or sign in to chat, and we'll give you the updates on that. So when I first started at the Grace Company, started full-time. I've always worked part-time doing things for the Grace Company, but I started in the office, and speaking to customers about stitch regulation was just so foreign to me, and the concept of how it worked, it was just very confusing. Now it's just very clear, but I've worked in the industry for a long time, so I've come to understand a few things. And I just wanted to explain to you a little bit about how stitch regulation works. And I'm going to show you the parts and pieces and how easy it is to set up on your frame and the great instructions. But I want to jump in and tell you a little story. I was really struggling with understanding stitch regulation. So our electrical engineer, Kent, explained it to me in a great way, and I thought I would share that with you. It's like driving a car. When you accelerate driving your car, you're not going to push on that gas and accelerate really at a fast speed unless you're a NASCAR driver. And we do have NASCAR quilters. I'll have to say that. Some of you are pretty fast. But you want to slowly press on the gas to accelerate. And that's what the stitch regulation does. So without pushing on the foot pedal, it has little sensors, and we call those encoders, that sense the movement of the carriage. And so if you start moving it faster, it kicks in and says, oh, okay, you're moving this carriage faster, so we need to accelerate the speed of the needle moving up and down. And then if you slow down, then it slows down the needle. But it takes a little time for it to speed up and slow down, just like when you're driving your car and you don't want to stop, a sudden stop, you want to kind of gradually move into it. So when you get the stitch regulator and you'll see that the needle is moving up and down at a constant speed, that is so it will engage more quickly and keep your stitches consistent. Now, if it wasn't moving up and down, you'd have a little lag time in between them, and you'd get a longer stitch. So that's why it's important for the needle to move up and down, so you get that consistent stitch when you're starting and when you're stopping and starting and stopping again. So that was just a little story I thought was very helpful for me to understand stitch regulation. So let me show you the box. When you order it, it comes in this little box, and it has a lot packed in this little box. Inside this box, you get a great set of instructions and all the tools and pieces that you need to attach it to your frame, carriage, and your frame. Okay, so just know that you don't need any additional parts and pieces. It comes with it. The first thing I want you to do is to fill out your warranty card. It's really important that you send in your registrations so that you can have that warranty on all the little parts and pieces. And I believe it's a year warranty on all of the parts. So don't lose them and keep the box there. It's nice that if after the warranty runs out, if you need us to check and see if something's going wrong, that you send it back in the box, and so we can keep everything together. So it's small enough that you could find a little stash or a little place in your room to keep it. So make sure you fill out the warranty card and send it in. Then, having said that, these instructions are pretty thick, okay? And so when you're going through it, I just want to show you how easy it is to maneuver through these instructions here. Let me put this back in, if I can. Okay, so here's your instruction book. And because we've been in business quite a while and we've made a lot of frames, that's why it has to be this thick. Because the frames are different and how you mount it on, we've evolved. So our carriages have changed, and which is good. It's good to evolve, to find new and better ways of doing things, and that's what we at Grace Company are all about, is finding new and better ways of bringing products and things to you. So in the instructions, if you go through your user manual, what you'll do is you have your table of contents here. You will just find your parts list right here. So I go through my parts list to make sure you have everything in your box. Then it gives you the different styles of carriages that were and are available now. And we're starting with the current versions first, and it's the G Series Carriage and a dual wheel carriage. Those are the two styles that we currently are selling on our frames. So if you have a current frame, if you just purchased it, those are the two that you would move to. Now the dual wheel is dual wheel on the bottom and the top. Okay, so it's dual wheel on the bottom carriage and dual wheel on the top. The G Series Carriage is a single wheel on the bottom and a dual on the top. So just know that there's a little bit different. And then we had the Pro Carriage a long time ago, and then we have a G Series 2 dual and a G Series 2 single. So, and we keep going. Okay, in these instructions, you just move to the carriage that you have, and we have the, the settings for the SureStitch. So with some of them, if you start out with one machine, you can upgrade to another machine, another domestic machine, and just change the jumper position. So since I've showed you that, I just want to kind of go through the box. Here's the set of tools and the cord cable management pieces. They're little zip ties and mounts that you can use to manage your cables, which is really important as you're quilting. So you don't want the cords to get in the way. This here is the main control box, okay? So with the main control box, it's where all your little plugs and ports are going to plug into. And we have given you two different Velcro sticky, because we know that the Velcro can get dried out after time, so you get two of them now, and they are very handy. And then in this control box, if you open it up, you can open it up right here, and you can see that this is the electronic board that I was talking about. So with this electronic board, for some of the machines, this is what makes it compatible with the machines, is this board right here. And this has jumper settings, and right here, see these little black things right here? These are called jumpers, and the position of these jumpers make it work with your machine. So for some of the machines, they're set like that. And this is the Juki 2010, so if you're looking to change from like a Janome 1600 to a Juki 2010, you could just use one control box but change the jumper settings. So that's how that works. And so on the top of your main control box, you have a display cord that plugs in. And this display cord plugs in, and then it also plugs into the display. And your display comes with a little mount for the G-series carriages, and it's like this. So that's what the display looks like. And it has an on-off switch on the display, a pulse, and it has the up and down for the stitch length. So that's what the display looks like, and that's what the cord for the display. Then you have a power cord, because the SureStitch takes a power cord that plugs into an outlet. You just can't plug it into your sewing machine and not plug it into a power outlet. So you need to have it accessible, or just a good extension cord with a lot of ports that you can plug it into. Then that plugs into one side, this side of your control box. So that's two cords. We have the display cord and the power cord. On this side here is where you will plug in your foot pedal cord, or that's what I call it. Your cord that plugs into the port on your foot pedal. And you can see for the Jukies, it's an angled cord, but this port, this male port, plugs into this side, and then this end will plug into my Juki, where my foot pedal plugs into. Then, last but not least, are fantastic encoders. And they are like a telephone port, and they will plug in down here. Now, with the encoders, you're going to mount these encoders to your carriage. And these little guys are what sense the movement. This little O-ring is really important to make sure that it stays on, but this, as it's moving along, senses the movement, and it has a little board inside of here, a little electronic board that just communicates with this main board, that communicates with the sewing machine, tells it to speed up and slow down. You have two encoders. One mounts to the top plate, which is your front to back movement, and one mounts to your bottom plate, which is the side to side movement. Now, these encoders are not hard to attach and put on. I am a big proponent of if you purchase the SureStitch, do it yourself. Don't let anybody else do it for you. It's not that hard. Now, taking your machine on and off your frame to attach it, you do need to do that. So if you need help with your machine, please have somebody help you take it off, but then use the instructions and attach it. It's not hard to do. So, I've just gone through everything, and I just wanted to show you that. I'm just going to run to the back of the frame just to show you where the encoders are. I'm just going to set this off to the side here. Okay, the magic of... Anyway, I just wanted to show you. So here's my display that I've mounted right here, and it's my on and off. And so notice that this cord I've wrapped around on the arm and moved it to the back. So now I'm just going to move. I'm going to come around this way, Brian, so I'm not walking in front of the camera. So notice that this display cord is plugged into the top right here of my control box. All right, here is my power cord that I've plugged in. I've plugged in down there. All right, and then here are my two encoders. Now this is my top encoder, which is mounted to my top carriage. And then underneath here, I don't know if you can see, that is my bottom encoder. And it's mounted to my bottom carriage. So I've got my movement. And then here is where I have plugged in my foot pedal cord, and it's mounted to the side. So you have 5 cords that you plug in. And I suggest you turn your machine off as you plug them in. And then after they're all plugged in, turn it on and just have a test piece of fabric so that you get to understand and know the feel. I've talked your ear off now. I'm just going to show you the difference of them. I'm just going to quickly quilt this next little section so that you can see and hear how great the stitch regulator is, because if you don't have it and your machine's compatible, you're going to want it. And yes, we are going to be coming out with a new SureStitch down the road. It's going to have a lot of great features, but don't wait, because we will have programs and be able to work with you with little trade-ins and stuff like that. So don't let that stop you, because I know that just having started out with my foot pedal, that was great. It was fun and I really enjoyed it, but adding this extra accessory just makes it that much nicer. And you can do it in increments as you can afford it. We're not asking you to jump all in all at once, because I don't want you to go bankrupt like our government, okay? I want you to do it within your means and do it fiscally responsible. So let's jump in and do some sewing. I'm so used to using the foot pedal lately. I'm just waiting. It's like driving a clutch. When you're not driving a clutch anymore, your foot's always there ready to push on it. So anyway, let me just get it started and show you how fun it is just to add the stitch regulator. So I'm just going to turn it on here. And you can see how it's moving up and down. So you don't want to hold it in one place too long. But you can hear it speed up and slow down. But see how nice and consistent my stitches are staying? Oh, God, it just makes it so nice. And it allows you to learn your design. So if, my rule of thumb, if you don't know your design and it's a new design, start out on a slower speed. I told you that a lot of times. But if you do know your design, start out at faster speed, because you'll be moving it faster, okay? And you know, I could do this all day, but I'm not, because I've talked your ear off. All right, they'll stop right there. But you can see the difference in the stitches as I was moving. So, you know, it just helps keep it nice and consistent, and it's just one of those accessories that I know that you will love if you have the opportunity to have your machine compatible with that. Join me next time. I'm going to add the Quilting 15M, which is our manual machine. It's a great starting point to introduce you into a little bit longer machine with the extra throat space, so that you can, you know, accomplish a little bit more. It's a manual machine, but I want to introduce that machine to you because it's a great starting point in your progression of quilting. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. I'm excited about our quilting journey, and thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.